School gives you certificate, but skill will give you bread. Education does not guarantee success. Not every hustle is for you. And I learned this the hard way. Today, I want us to have a real conversation. I was just packing up some of my files in the office, and I just saw something about a class by a coach that I attended, another business class. And before I get to that business class gist, I want to gist. Let me give you guys this background. You know how life teaches you certain things and you just wish that people knew them earlier. Today, this topic is what I want you to know, the Nigerian edition. This is like a survival truth. In this story, some will make you laugh, some will make you cry, but just grab your popcorn, grab your granuts, and let's gist. So the first point I want to say is, first things first, not every hustle is for you. I know that right now in Nigeria, we're in the season of entrepreneurship. This coach will come, she will say POS business, everybody's cashing out. Another week, they will say it's forex. Somebody's selling human hair, going to China, selling contact and saying, do you know you can make so and so amount of millions selling this human hair? If you just log into my class, why don't you learn this business? And that person is doing dropshipping, and she made millions and millions of naira from her room just by dropshipping. And people like you and me, I'm saying you and me because I was also caught up in this web. And that's why I'm just giving this story like an experience. Would rush and go and buy. Or will rush and go and pay for that class, invest our monies, and you might not see the money. If I don't follow this bandwagon, I heard people are making monies from here. Look at this person, look at this person. You start looking up to people that you do not see their back end. You rush, you invest so much money because you do not want to just sit down there and you're feeling lazy. Nope. Or you have a business you're already doing, which is like a steady growth, and you're seeing somebody preaching about another business. You want to go into that business. You want to, by all means, without studying if it's for you, if you can, if it falls in line with what you can do. This topic is for you because this is from my own personal experience. Have I been caught up in that web? Yes. And this is what I want you to know. First thing I want you to know is your lane is valid. You don't have to do everything. I have seen people collect loans to start businesses just because their neighbor is making money, only to realize that that's not how life works. Imagine someone who hates standing outside, for example, and seeing her neighbor doing a POS business under hot sun, or somebody who cannot handle numbers like me. Me and maths, we don't go hand in hand. And I now see somebody doing forex. Oh, my neighbor is doing forex. Oh, he bought 3 cars from forex. I have been in this situation. I have entered forex, but I'm coming to that story. Oh, and you're rushing, but you cannot handle the numbers. You cannot handle the sleepless nights. You cannot handle when they come online to watch their charts, to know when the market is high, when the market is low. Waiting we don't see. What have we not seen? If you fall into those mistakes, you will cry blood. There's dignity in choosing your lane. See, one hustle done better is better than 5 scattered hustles. I know that me saying this, you say, oh, but you're a farmer and you're also a digital creator. And yes, I opened a media company recently. Yes, but it all falls in line with what I do. I'm a farmer for about 6 or 7 years now, and I'm also a creator on social media, which I have tested that life, and I can see that, oh, I'm good at shooting videos, I'm good at doing all of that, and I decided to have another hustle, which is in line with my skills. It's okay. But if you don't find it interesting, if what you're doing is taking your spirit and your soul, and you've not seen your head above water, for me, I started seeing it as a possibility. And remember, I just did not jump into getting the media company. I have been on social media for about 3 or 4 years while pushing out content. Brands started paying me to push out their content. People started calling me to shoot their videos. That made me realize that, oh, I could make money from this because it's a skill. And that was why I started the media company as a side hustle, and it's working. I just started immediately. But let me not digress. But let me shock you. Half of the people shouting, I am cashing out, are exaggerating. Don't fall for it. I want to say something. There's a friend of mine on Instagram. Her name is Bells BC. She's doing so well with importation. She imports lots of things. She's doing so well. Her containers. Like when I see her page, when I see the amount of containers that land in her shop, when I see her sell out, I said, her importation, I can do this. So maybe not in what she's doing because I don't really know anything about hair or products or all those things, but maybe in clothes, maybe in gadgets, even gadgets that I use for video creation, content creation. Maybe I can start doing it. And so there's another lady on social media. Her name is Hot Collections. She's doing so well in the clothes angle, and she was doing a class. She was running a class on Instagram because she showed, her name is a back end, how much she makes in a month. She makes millions, 50 million in a month, did it. And I was pushed. I said, gosh, from importation, just from importation, China, here I come. Remember that I have always imported some of the things that I use for my own self personally from Amazon. But this one is a different kind of importation. And I am somebody that will still say that if you want to start any business, if you want to learn a skill, please, yes, still pay. Still pay for a skill. Go to those people that are versed in their skills, that are learning, that are offering classes, and learn from them. That money you paid will not be a waste. And I went into that business. I said, first, let me pay her. This thing just happened this year. I said, let me pay her the money for her class because it is good for you to learn and pay. Let me see, let her teach me how to import from China, how to cut call, collect contacts, everything. And so I paid 100,000 Naira in April for her class, Hot Collections. And she added me to her WhatsApp group. And now when this class started, I now saw that it was beyond what I was seeing. Like this importation thing, these apps, app 1, 2, 3, 4 something, another app, WeChat, translator. My head was blowing. That was just the first one. Talking about how to chat with them, how to convert yen. This one, I saw that within my eyes. See, I said, this is nah. This is not for me. I can't. And if you were in that class, you will learn a lot. She really broke it down for us, like a 4 days intensive class with her blackboard, marking up profits, markup, sales. This one, see, I had to pay for that class to understand what is involved in importation. That was after the class. I washed my hand. I said, I do not think I will thrive here. So you see, I paid monies to learn, but I didn't start the business because only Onyinye wanted to do farming, which I'm a farmer. Of course. Only Onyinye is running like a media company physically in the city of Port Harcourt, and is also running a media company online, which means that I still shoot for brands, I still advertise for brands, and now only Onyinye wants to enter into importation in a big way of gadgets and having a gadget shop. I need to pick my battles and face the hustle, the niche I have already created for myself. So, this is me saying, focus on your focus. Take what you can handle. Do not be moved by other people. That it is working well for Belle's Beauty, that it is working well for Hot Collections, does not mean that when you enter, you will be making those monies that they are making, or you will be, having the, marketing is even another angle. One thing I want to add here. As a farmer, for over the years, I do not sell on social media. Like maybe when I want to sell off my chickens, I'm a layer farmer. I sell offline. Most of my eggs are, in fact, 90% of my customers are offline. I have never had to market my eggs. I have never had to go all the way to start, marketing. Please, I have eggs. Nope. Thanks to God and God's grace, my eggs sell out on their own. I do not need to market. I did not come and start begging people for customers. So I was not used, as in the Hot Collections class, when she finished her business nuggets, how to import. She now had a whole class on marketing, how to market, the lights, get your target customer. For somebody like me that's not used to that kind of aggressive marketing, I wash my hands out of it. Remember that Belle's Beauty and the rest of them that are big on social media, they are good marketers. They are good marketers. So you have to know your strengths. And that is where I will stop this point 1 before I get to point 2. I hope I was able to convince you and not confuse you that it is better to face your hustle. It's better to face a particular niche or two niches that you can actually thrive in without jumping into other things without knowing what you're entering, or being blown away by the bandwagon on social media or what other people are making to join. Focus on your focus, slow and steady, and you will make it. Recently, while on social media, reading a lot of things, and I want to say something. Good health is wealth. Let me just say that, see, hospital bills in Nigeria will humble you. So recently, I went for a mammogram. I'll give you people that story in another episode. But on this episode, I want to talk about how much it costs me to do a mammogram. Not only a mammogram, sorry, to do an MRI for my breast. It's about 250,000 Nigerian money. I was shocked when they told me that to do an MRI. It's big monies. So imagine people that, let me say, want to check their breast, they have a scare and they don't have the money to do the tests, or they shy, or in fact, what I want to say is health is wealth though. So it's better for you to have struggle, ensure that you eat right, do your proper medical checks, instead of you to fall sick in this country. I don't want to talk about half-baked doctors in Nigeria. That is another full episode. But on this episode, I want to just tell people, eat well, drink water, check yourself, exercise. Like, do not wait until malaria graduates to typhoid and typhoid now graduates to something more. Because I have seen people ignore headaches because they are too busy. Next thing, they collapse. For somebody like me, I do not ignore any sign I have in my body. Every year, I do what they call a comprehensive check of my body. I check both my kidney, I check my kidney blood count, I check every single thing down to breast, down to... That is even what led me to do the MRI. That I'll give you that gist in another episode. An MRI of the breast because of my yearly checks. Just check me and see what is wrong. If there's nothing wrong, okay, I'm in good health. So one thing Nigeria has taught me, you cannot afford to play with your health. Like, there is no real health insurance for the average Nigerian. It is cash and carry. And the bill for health in this country, sometimes even big men, it will humble you. So please, the little money that you're making, ensure that you use it for checkups. So eat well, smoke less, drink less, because truly, health is wealth. Another highlight of this episode that crossed my mind is your village people are not always your problem. You know, Nigerians love to blame every single thing on their village people or on spirituality. We live in a spiritual country. Even if the glass falls from their hand and shatters on the floor, they will blame their village people. If NEPA takes lights, they will blame their village people. Sometimes, if their business falls, they will blame their village people. Sometimes, it is not your village people. It is poor marketing. You did not market your business. Yes. You did not learn how to use social media. Yes. You didn't separate your personal money from your business money. Yes. You ate into your profits and you cannot expand. Please, there is no uncle in your village. Let us be honest with ourselves. See, I'm not saying spiritual things do not exist, but many times we blame what we should have planned. If you do your homework, if you're disciplined, half of this village people's problem will vanish. Why do you think that most people who japa or travel abroad, sometimes from what they say on social media, half of their problems ended when they went into a working economy? And that's because they dotted their T's and dotted their I's. If they did not work, you will not eat. I just say, let me drop this one. I don't want to talk much on religion because if I speak on religion, everywhere will scatter. We concentrate on being religious in this country without facing the facts and being Christ-like. These are just nuggets that happened this week. These random thoughts are just coming to my head because these are nuggets that happened this week that I experienced either with acquaintances, friends, or what I've read this week. And this next point I'm trying to tell you, I want to say now is relationships are capital. We live in a generation where people want quick money. They're not ready to invest in human capital. Listen, who you know opens doors faster than money in this country. Like, I have seen people with small money, but sorry, my eyes got this hair. No, the green. Sorry, let me cut my hair. I can't see my eyes. I have seen people with small money but big network achieve what rich people cannot achieve. Let me give you an example. A friend of mine came to meet me. She's very brilliant. She wants to go into farming and she didn't have enough capital. And when I told her what it entails, she wanted to start small. I told her that, look, your capital will not be enough to give you the kind of returns you want in farming. To enter into agriculture, you have to, have like a basic, what should I say? It has to be substantial. You can't start with 500 beds. You need at least 1,000 beds for your layers angle to get enough, egg profit. For the numbers you just called, you need about 1,000 beds. And she said, I do not have the money to, start up with this 1,000 beds. I have money for 200 beds. I told her, Auntie, it can't work. But do you know what? You can partner with somebody. If you have a rich uncle or a rich friend or anybody around, pitch this business idea to the person. I know that you have to drive. She's very intelligent. She's hardworking. And guess what? Long story short, she pitched that business idea to her uncle. Her uncle was so excited. He said, look, he's been looking for somebody to. People have monies, but they don't want to be in the forefront. And so today, as I speak, she has 5,000 beds. She started with 5,000 beds. So what happened? The connections, what she had. Yes, you might say it's an uncle, but some people have friends connections. Some people have brothers connections. Any connection is a connection. Nigeria runs on connection. It is not by sending CV to somebody. Sometimes one phone call from the right person will do what? Will do more than 50 applications. It is her uncle. How many uncles would invest in you? I also know another person too, that she went into a business partnership with an acquaintance, and she's doing very, 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 very well in piggery. She didn't have the money. She pitched it to some people that were quite, about like a few people, and about one or two picked up the idea and they merged. And today her dream is her reality. These people did not just fall from the sky. They have been, that uncle that helped her, she must have been good to the uncle, checking up on the uncle and the wife. They must have had a sort of relationship. The friend too that must have helped my friend to set up a piggery must have had some sort of relationship with the person. So my point, build real friendships, not just what can I gain. Your relationships are part of your net worth. This has also happened in my personal life, which I am not yet ready to share here. But the point I want to say is that relationships have helped me a lot. Genuine, intentional relationships have helped me a lot in life, in business, but not only be monetary, in also advice. Just thought to just drop this here. But going over to the next point, you cannot shame the shameless. See, I was talking with a friend of mine recently. Like I said, all these nuggets came from this week. Like a lot of things have been going on, and I'll just keep it in my head to just talk about it. She was scared about her business. There is somebody I want to talk about here. Her name is Oluchi. She is the owner of Cookie Lab, Fresh Cookie Lab on social media. And this is true. I remember 8 years ago, so not 8 years ago, maybe about 4 years ago when she came out. Then I didn't know her personally. Now I know her personally. She will come out and these big blogs will carry her. What was she selling? She was selling that boric acid, that boric suppositories. These are things that help the vaginal floral and everything. And because we were not used to that as at that time, at least she was the first person that I knew that was selling those, boric suppositories. But whenever she pays Instablog to put her up on their social media, I will read comments by, people bashing her, people dragging her. That's the scandal. Like this one, what are you saying? Telling women to use their vagina to do this, to do that. Even if it was approved in Western medicine, it was approved by the FDA, even in America. Recently, when I traveled for summer, I saw boric suppositories sold in CVS pharmacies. But as at that time, 4 years ago, it was new to me. But I will always wonder, this girl did not mind. She kept on pushing her adverts, despite the insults. Today, she is one of, if not the forefront, yes. She's one of the biggest sellers of boric or anything feminine hygiene in Nigeria. I don't want to go much into this. But my point is, do not be scared of scandal or insult or being dragged. Some people say, oh, I don't want to come online with this business before they drag me. Only when it comes to your business, savage, for me, that is where I fall in. So please, that's why I laugh when I see people waste as in scared of, social media. I want to be private. But you don't have the money, auntie, uncle. I have this business idea, but I'm scared of, coming on social media because it has the good and bad sides. But how will you market your business? How will you market your goods without, coming to the right people or ignoring those words, ignoring those insults, like the way Fresh Cookie Lab did, and today here she is. These are real people, real time, real stories. So instead of worrying about what people will think, build yourself, invest that energy in your own growth, because people are cashing out. I don't want to be a motivational speaker, but it's the truth. The last example I want to give under this before we move to another nugget is, recently I sold layers on social media. Like I said, every year I love some of my layers, so I sold my layers on social media. I sold over 1,500 layers on social media in a week. That's because I am pushing my market. I have been on social media. I keep on pushing my market on social media. Would I have sold offline? Yes. But I might not have been able to sell for the amount I sold on social media. Let me give you an example. There are wholesalers willing to buy birds. Trust me, if you have 5,000 birds today and you want to sell it off today, I can give you the contact to sell off those birds right now and they will clear. But they would price you, they will give you ridiculous prices that might not, go well with you. For example, I sold birds this year, 8.5, I think, on social media. Those marketers offline, they were telling me 7,000, 6,900. And I said, no, don't worry. Because I know the worth of these birds, I'm going to push it on social media. And I pushed my business there and I sold out on social media in less than a week. So I hope that buttressed my point that don't be scared of social media, oh, negative, oh, this. Focus on your focus. So let us go over to the next point. Savings alone cannot save you. Yes, let's talk about money. Yeah, I know that we like to save. Nigerians love ajo, they love thrift. Ajo, for my non-Nigerian followers, like a saving contribution fund where people gather together and save their monies and take their monies by month in a cycle, different people and all of that. But because of the inflation in Nigeria, I realized that the 10 million that you feel you have saved in a year, by the end of the year, your 10 million is not 10 million. If you want to quantify it, it's like 7 million because of the rate of inflation. So yes, save. But you have to also learn how to invest, no matter how small. I know investment sounds scary, but start with little. About treasury bills, learn about mutual funds, or even skill acquisition. Using your saved money to start up a skill or to learn a skill is also an investment. Investment must not always go by land, buying land, buying this one. No. Investing in yourself is also an investment. Upgrading yourself is also an investment because see, the biggest lie we're told is that savings is enough. In Nigeria economy, savings is not enough. The money will leak. So please, in any way you can upgrade yourself, invest in yourself. Education does not guarantee success. That thing I learned this week. Please don't get me wrong. Education is very important. Education is a necessity. In fact, education would help pivot you to the next level, but it doesn't guarantee success. See, many of us were told to go to school, get good grades, you will succeed. I was among those. Growing up, I grew up with professional parents who would always, push us to read harder, to be better, get to clear your WAEC, do your masters. I did all that. I graduated with a second class upper. I went for a master's degree, but look around. Graduates are job hunting. And that brings me to the point of this on education. I see that some people are withdrawn when they see artisans, makeup artists cashing out. I'm not saying don't get education. Get it, but I'm saying do not rely on it alone. Add a skill, add wisdom. School gives you certificates, but skill will give you bread. If you do not have a job, learn a skill. There's dignity, whether it's a 9 to 5, whether you're a photographer, whether you are into farming. I'm a farmer with all my education and certifications. I also did French. I also did professional courses. But today, I live and breathe farming. I will sell my chickens to you. I will sell my eggs to you because that is life. Success is not only tied to education, it's not only tied to your certificates. If you're not in the position to have a job through your education, apply yourself with your education and get a skill to help you. Never look down on any skill. That brings me to another point in my head. There is no condition that is permanent. See, the season that you're in today, it won't last forever. You're broke. Tomorrow it can change. This is not a motivational topic. I was sitting down yesterday in my room and I was thinking there was something that was disturbing me in February. I was so scared. I was so worried. But I have surmounted that. And I thought to myself, in February, if you ask me, I will say, God, this thing, let this cup pass over me. But it has passed over. What was disturbing you 2 years ago that you have surmounted? Think about it. Nigeria itself will stress you. But being resilient to carry you through. Don't give up because you're in a bad phase, or as Nigerians will say, problems no dey finish. Always have that high optimism that the better days are ahead. Keep moving. That's my own. Problems never last. So these are some things I wish people knew, Nigerian edition, because I know that you can relate to at least one point. Which one hits you the hardest? These are the things I wish people knew. Nigerian edition. Which one hits you the hardest? Drop it in the comment section for me. And remember that life is transient. Don't stress too much. Don't compare too much. Live, laugh, and enjoy this journey. If you like this, share with somebody who needs to hear. Please don't forget to subscribe because we are not done. I have more truths coming your way. Thank you for even watching to the end of this video, and I will see you in the next